Hi, I'm Colette, and this is Witch Ways. I'm here today to share my 3 favorite herbs for purifying and cleansing for witches. In addition to being a witch, I'm also an herbalist and someone that loves plants. And so as we start to talk about herbs, I wanted to share that I really enjoy exploring that place where the physical properties of things meet the energetic. And herbs are one of those things where that continuum is very powerful, and you can use it strictly physically, or you can use it energetically depending on the way you use it, or the amount, or the dose. And I just really enjoy exploring those places. So let's jump into what kind of herbs that I use most frequently. And I want to start with what I call my big 3. They are rosemary, lavender, and blue vervain. So rosemary is a very powerful but kind of everyday plant. It's my all-purpose purification, everyday go-to cleaning, cleansing, purification herb. Here's some examples of some dried stalks. You don't have to cut them this big. In fact, you would probably want to cut them smaller for your own use in a cauldron. This was just a convenient length for me to cut them in terms of my care of the plant. And it is warming and stimulating to the body. It helps us clear energy off by stimulating our own defenses and our own energetic wellness to push off whatever we don't need. It helps lift things off us just very easily. And it was traditionally burned in sick rooms to help people recover. In Christianity, it was associated with the goddess Mary. It's a very, very old incense herb, and it's one that you can rub your hands on the plant or wash your hands in the tea of the rosemary leaves before you do any kind of magical work as purification. The next one I want to talk about is lavender, and this is my harvest from this year. And again, this is probably a lot bigger, longer stems that you would want to use. I just, again, found in my care of the plant that this was a convenient length. And for you at home, if you were wanting to cut something that was a good size to use, you probably want to cut it about this length. This would probably fit well in most cauldrons or containers. And lavender is very soothing. It has a very sweet scent. It's relaxing physically and emotionally. The part that you use is the flowers, and even just smelling them is really relaxing and clearing. They're great for grief, anxiety, sadness, of course, alongside whatever kind of other self-care that you're doing. And the name lavender has the root word lav in it, which means to wash. So that idea of clearing is embedded in the name itself. I like to use lavender soap post any kind of hands-on healing work, or also shower using lavender soap post magic, especially magic I've done with other people. My third one that I use often is blue vervain, and I think of that as the really heavy duty purifying, clearing herb of my formulas and singles that I use. It's not as commonly available. Rosemary and lavender you can probably get in almost any store that carries herbs. Blue vervain you might have to order online or go to an herb store. If you get it in an herb store, it's going to be mostly leaf and stem, which is fine to use. It's still powerful. But my favorite part is the flower stalks. And so if you're a gardener and you like to grow plants, this is a great one to grow. Likes full sun, and you harvest the stems, the upper parts, the top 3 to 4 inches or so when they're flowering and drying them. It's a super powerful plant, as I said. I use it for any kind of banishing work, hauntings, any kind of post-nightmare clearing or clearing from recurrent nightmares. I use it with people post-breakups, post-traumatic events, and it's very soothing to the part of the nervous system that we use when we do magic as well. So it's a good restorative and clearer, especially for witches or people doing any kind of energy work or healing work. I also like to think of it as my herb. I call it my end of the light at the end of the tunnel moment. So that's when I have forgotten that not only is there a light at the end of the tunnel I'm in, but that I'm in a tunnel at all, or in any kind of process that's ever going to end. And I think some of us might well be feeling that way about many things, about the epidemic and a lot of the things that we want to see changed and shifted in the world around social justice. We might really wonder if we're ever going to see progress and our goals met. And I really just find blue vervain to be really supportive and really powerful when we're having those moments where I've lost faith or lost hope. It can be burned, it can be hung, it can be placed in the corners of the house. You can carry it on you. It's one of those ones that just continuously radiates clearing as long as you're using it and having it around. It's a really, really wonderful herb. So those are my big three, and I use them separately or together or in combination with other herbs, depending on what I'm going to use it for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button so that I can continue to get the word out on different ways that witches work. Be well.